My name is Garrone. I work at Far West Fungi. We're an exotic mushroom company in Moss Landing, California, and we do 10 different varieties of mushrooms. We also produce our own substrate, our own spawn, and we fruit the mushrooms and then do direct distribution to consumers. Important thing I think that helped our growth is we can then test new varieties and we're not reliant on a wholesaler to dictate what we're growing. And so we can introduce new mushrooms to the market and really have that direct consumer understanding about what people are eating, how they want to eat it, and if that's a good mushroom to bring to a larger scale. I think it's the benefit is developing your own industry within your own country. It also spurs innovation and knowledge and technology. And so I think it's very important to develop those industries there. And because then you can have research developed and really understand how your mushrooms or how mushrooms are being interacted and used by people. And then other things can come about from that. And also the outsourcing of agriculture really limits yourself. And we saw that like during the pandemic when supply chain issues occurred, there was a drop in mushrooms. So I think it's very important to have secure agricultural production within your own country. And actually right now, we have an initiative in California to have a California grown label, and that to have that label on your mushrooms, you have to inoculate, incubate, and fruit the mushrooms in California to receive that label. And so we think it's very important to allow the consumers to be aware of where your mushrooms are coming from, and that is what we've been working very hard at our company to provide. I would say, for the most part, just because the United States is very large, it's hard for like Kennett Square to really affect California. So we usually work pretty well together. I think our biggest competition really is substrate coming in from Asia because they can just drop it on the market. It's very destabilizing. You're competing with kind of like a form of outsourcing of agriculture. And so for us, I think for the growers that are here from the East and the West Coast, we really try to work together for the most part to make sure that we can build a kind of a robust industry here that maybe can somewhat compete a little bit with Asian imports. I think part of what helps us to work on marketing is, again, how we work directly with the consumer and we really understand the consumer. And so we can bring products to the consumer that we kind of feel that they would like and allows us to test it. And then we can go to the larger audience selling to like other large scale distributors. And so I think that is an advantage of us to actually understand and try to figure out the consumer in a real way and seeing how they're eating and what mushrooms and how they're using them. And then we can go, hey, like, let's develop mushroom jerky. People are looking for a non-meat, product. Let's use our mushrooms in an effective way. It's also really good to add value-added products because we always have overproduction. So how can we use that? And so we've been looking at many different areas. We do some extraction. We're doing gummies now, mushroom jerky. We have a tea line. So I think it's just important to really kind of diversify as much as you can, if you can, because it really strengthens your brand. And I think it also helps you where you're not dumping mushrooms on the market because you produce too much. And then you're actually making somewhat more money by making awesome products. So in some ways, if we find a mushroom we like, let's just say like I go to Japan and I'm like, oh, this is an amazing mushroom. I love it. We have consumers come in, somebody maybe a good customer, we're like, try this. They come back, they're like, I love it. And then next thing you know, we're selling, 200, 1,000 pounds a week through our own distribution. And then we can go to Whole Foods or some other large retailer and say, hey, this is doing really well. Can we add this to like a mixed pack, right? So you can still get your shiitake, lion's mane, and this new mushroom. And then next thing you know, now we're selling that just as its own pack. So things like that really help us develop those markets. And then also just kind of gets the feel of where the mushroom trends are going and understanding those trends. We like to work with a lot of more exotic mushrooms, also to inspire our customers. So a lot of lion's mane. So we do like a lion's mane crab cake. So like kind of like an artificial crab thing. We do a lion's mane, like fried chicken sandwich. We do like a king trumpet, kind of like it's kind of like a cold sandwich. It's like a meat. We do soups. We do kind of it's like a pot pie, but it's more like a flaky, crispy thing. We do empanadas out of mushrooms, and then on like the dessert side, we do. I don't know if you've had like Lactarius fragilis. It's a candy cap mushroom, and we do ice cream, and we also do cookies. So we have kind of savory and sweet. Um, we have two stores. Well, one only has a restaurant. The other one is in the Ferry Building in San Francisco, and that just sells mushrooms, dried products, truffles, and then throughout the year we'll sell 70 different varieties of mushrooms. So we'll bring in a lot of wild mushrooms, different mushrooms like that. So we grow about 30,000 pounds a week, so a little under 15,000 kilograms a week. And we grow shiitake, oyster, lion's mane, king oyster, um, pink, yellow oyster, reishi, wood ear, and turkey tail, termites. I think that is all of them. Yep. It's 9, but you can go more.
And the last question.
Oh, and then we do, it's like a black oyster, we call it, yeah. It's great. The thing that I'm amazed about is just like how many people I know, and then also just getting to know new people and talking and collaborating and just seeing where things are and discussing, just what's happening in the industry. It's exciting. With, the mushroom industry isn't very large, so in some ways there's not many people to talk to, and so it's really nice to come to things like this and meet people like you that are dealing with some of the same issues and strengths and where the industry is going. But it's really exciting because I grew up around this my whole life, and I would say mushrooms weren't so cool, and now they're just very cool, and people have a better understanding and are excited about it, and that makes me also more excited about doing what I do.